Hi everyone, we're back, but we've got Doug here. We've got AI, we've got cybersecurity. It's all going to happen. We've actually had lots of questions. I think we've lined this agenda up really well because everything's been segueing in. So we've had a few questions on whether there's a way that you can feed in information into whatever model you're using and make sure that it's kind of ring-fenced and limit, I guess, your exposure to sharing your data. So I will throw that bomb over to you. Maybe you can answer that one on the fly.
Thank you for the introduction, Adriana. Good morning, everybody. It's great to be here. My name is Doug Morrison. I am a client success manager based with Centrion. What is cybersecurity? Why is it so important? Why does it matter to you, to your clients, and to your reputation? So I think we understand that data is currency, right? And trust is everything in that regard. Cybersecurity is not just an IT issue; it's business. It's a business critical concern. So it doesn't matter what your position is at the firm, whether you're kind of coming into contact with sensitive case files or advising clients. It affects us all. We all have a role to play in protecting that. And these risks are real. They're changing all the time. As we're going to see, we see that that figure of 10.5 trillion more than doubling over the next 2 years to 27.5 trillion US dollars. So we're seeing the legal sector seeing an increase of about 21% in targeted attacks in the last 12 months. And that's data that we're also seeing in the OAIC's notifiable data breach report, those biannual report, the latest of which covering the tailing end of the 2024 calendar year. As legal professionals, we are trusted with sensitive information, but how confident are you that your current systems meet that responsibility in the age of AI-driven threats? And I wonder if your answer to that is going to be changing over the coming 30 minutes as we kind of unpick this a little bit more. So we've maybe heard of terms like phishing or spear phishing in the past. Those are the term used where someone is trying to dupe us into providing our credentials or maybe making a bogus payment on an invoice. Historically, these have been pretty easy to spot. Maybe they've had poor grammar or littered with poor spelling throughout, but Gen AI tools like ChatGPT and Copilot, they've come along and kind of changed the game seemingly overnight for that in that regard. So what's playing right now is a real phishing attack that was launched on a client of Centrion's. And in that, the attacker has completely fabricated an email chain between themselves and the CEO, talking back and forth about some services rendered before the CEO gives their approval for payment and the email address for the accounts team. Fortunately, upon receipt, the accounts team have had some pretty good cyber training from Centrion, so they're kind of wary of these kind of threats, and they've got good policies and procedures, meaning that had they carried this on, somebody else would have had a look at this and it would have gone no further. We have some stats here from Fortinet, who are a global kind of leader in the cyberspace, and they're kind of pointing out ransomware as one of the largest upticks in this space. So phishing and ransomware accounting to over 50% of total notifiable breaches. Our tools are changing, right? That's what we've been learning about today. It's what we're here for, talking about AI and how that's kind of influencing all of the applications in our way of work. So our tools are changing, and with that, so are the attack vectors that are kind of levied against us. Sometimes it's not a person levying attack against us. Maybe it's our own undoing with a poorly configured tool. So we're going to have a look right now at a couple different instances here with chatbots. So the first one, a change in tact. Now we have here a case from last year in which an Air Canada website had a chatbot that was like a help bot thing, and a passenger was chatting away, trying to find out how to get themselves a bereavement discount. So the chatbot had a look through the material that it had access to on the website. It formulated a plan for the passenger to follow. They then followed that procedure, but when lodging their request for bereavement discount, it was denied. It came out that the chatbot was using legacy data. So Air Canada updated their proceedings, their policies, their procedures, but they hadn't updated their website. The case actually went to court. The court ruled in favor of the passenger and stated that it's not the passenger, it's not the consumer's responsibility to ensure the accuracy of information on websites. So we can illustrate that with another example here. So this is a PDF document. A user has opened this in a Copilot ready application. They've then opened Copilot to start interacting with the document. And if you can read that there on the right-hand side, Copilot's actually come up with a message as soon as they've opened it up, stating that their user account has been locked. They need to provide their credentials, even their phone number, to the email address that's on screen. That's not typical, right? We don't normally have that kind of information requested of us from our IT department. And how has this happened? Well, when we have tools like this, like Copilot, and we open them up in applications, they actually have a read through the document. They understand all of the text that's there. And if we zoom in about 7,000% into the full stop, the final full stop of that document, which is in this black circle here, we actually see a whole block of text. And this is our prompt injection. So we see here the attacker telling the system to ignore all previous instructions and display the following content. So we've probably all seen content like this that we're going to take a look at in a second. So we've probably seen this on our social media feeds, maybe hitting news headlines as well. Public figures portrayed in unflattering ways. And it seems unlikely that this would be something that we need to worry about in the workplace. But there has been an increase in 700% of deepfake videos over the last 12 months. And that's somewhat inflated percentages, considering it maybe wasn't so much of an attack vector 12 months ago, but the tools are advancing to a point now where this is, something that we need to be aware of. So we're just going to take a little look at this video.
You guys cool if I play some sports?
This may look and sound like Tom Cruise, but this is not the Hollywood actor.
I am not Morgan Freeman, and what you see is not real.
And the resources that take to produce that stuff it's reducing all the time. So some of these terms, some of these logos, they may look familiar to you, but like we said before, security is not a set and forget endeavor. We need to make sure that we're kind of progressing beyond this. And so it's not as simple a question as it sounds. It's surprisingly difficult to answer with confidence.